Shema, O Israel. How you doing today? My name is Cyrus Davi, and I'm just sharing a word of encouragement, a brief word based on today's psalm that was sent out to everyone that I'm blessed to send it out to. I understand that, things may be rough in life. I'm sharing a word of encouragement and in love for you to just hold on, remember your training, remember your faith, hold the line by line, precept by precept. It's very important that we as Israel do so. This morning's encouragement that went out was Psalm 139. And it says, O Yah, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understand my thought afar off. Thou compass my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Yah, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thy hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Whether I should go from thy spirit, or whether shall I flee from thy presence, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hides not from thee, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knows right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thy eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O Yah! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Yah. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thy enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Yah, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count on my enemies. Search me, O Yah, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way that is everlasting. Hallelujah. I like this psalm right here. The psalmist put this out there for a specific reason, and it went to the chief musician. So Psalm of David, the Most High's servant. And we as a people gotta, kind of like with these psalms, take a note out of David's page. Because a lot of times things wasn't going exactly the way he wanted it. A lot of times things that was happening to David, they were happening to him. And, David still held on to the Most High. David said the Most High was his rock, his shield, his buckler, things of that nature. Not that little pagan star thing that everybody, got, embroidered and crocheted and, etched in leather and made into gold around their necks. Not that pagan thing talked about in the book of Amos, all right? David's actual shield and actual protection was and is the Most High. So we got to stay encouraged and be mindful of that. Here in this division of the Psalm, Psalm 139, David, he kind of like showed us from verse 8 to 12, no matter where we go, we can't get away from the Most High. So it's better for us as his sheep, the Most High's sheep, to do what the Most High has commanded us to do. Verses 8 to 12 in Psalm 139 state, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hides not from thee, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. We as a people, the sheep of the Most High's pasture, we got to understand that we don't want to do a Jonah. Jonas, he was given a specific task. You can go ahead and read the whole book of Jonas. It's only 3 chapters. He was given a specific task and followed not that task. He rather, take the task, which was the one thing the Most High asked him to do, and go bury it, meaning he didn't want to use it, he didn't want to do it. We don't want to be like that. That's similar to the dude in the back of the book when the Most High gave out, when the guy was giving out talents, he gave 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 5. The dude that had 5 multiplied 5 and got 5 more. The dude that had 2 multiplied 2 and got 2 more. The one dude that had 1 took that one thing and buried it in the ground, a sign of disobedience. We as a people got to stop with the disobedience. We can't run from the Most High. A lot of you all got assignments from the Most High. A lot of you all got people that the Most High wants you to share the testimony of Messiah to, but you rather do you and let the fear overcome you, or you want to let the disobedience overcome you, or you'll try to say, well, I'm not, a minister, I'm not this, I'm not that. You don't need no hands laid on you to share a word of encouragement or share a word of your testimony to somebody. Man complicated this thing of the Most High's, all right? We as a people got to stop with the complications of this thing. This thing ain't complicated. It ain't hard. But because others want to lean on others' understanding, don't even want to lean on their own understanding, they lean on others' understanding, many are led astray. It's very important that as we in this day and time, take time and figure out who it is we exactly are living for and supposed to be serving. All right? The word is cut and dry. We're going to go on here in Psalm 139. I got 2 more points to make in 2 more segments of this. We just read the whole chapter 1 through 24. We just read verses 8 through 12, which showed us nowhere we go, we can get away from the Most High. Nowhere. So it's better to deal with the obedience than to make a sacrifice, and that sacrifice cause you many, many things, when the word tells us obedience is better than sacrifice. Very important for us to ascertain and understand that. Let's look at Psalm 139, verse 14. He said, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knows right well. Very important for us to stay encouraged. Some of you may be, feeling bad because your outer appearance look a certain way or something like that, or situations got you bogged down mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, financially. We as a people got to understand this. We got to continue. The first 4 words of verse 14 in Psalm 139 says, I will praise thee. All right? No matter what the situation is, No matter what the circumstances, conditions, situations are, we as a people got to continue to praise the Most High no matter what. I mean, it's that easy, that simple, that plain. But a lot of people rather murmur and complain. They want to rather wallow into whatever it is they going through. They rather worship the situation, condition, and circumstance by telling everybody other than the Most High. So we got to stay encouraged and remember where to bring our petition and our supplication. Because in the end of it all, when it come down to it, when it all boils down, we should be able to say, Our Father who art in heaven. Or we should be able to say, the Most High is my shepherd, I shall not want. If he's truly your shepherd, if he's your heavenly Father, why are you running around telling everything about your situation to everybody else instead of doing what the first four words in verse 14 of Psalm 139 say, and that is, I will praise thee. How many are willing to praise the Most High? How many are willing to call upon him in spirit and in truth, no matter what the situation is? How many are willing to do that? We as a people got to ask ourselves, are we really going to do that? Are we willing to do that? Yes, we will be tried, tested, and proven. And the totality of our deliverance goes back to the Most High because he is a jealous Elohim. All right? You got to praise him. You know, I ain't saying that I take everything to him and praise and all. I'm human like the next one. You know, some of you all may use strong adjectives. I'm trying to stop using strong adjectives to describe some of the excrement and the fecal matters that we all go through in life, especially dealing with this Facebook here, boy. I'm going to tell you, boy. Them people, boy. Nonetheless, we go forward. All right? The psalmist in 139:14 said, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. We got to make that declaration no matter what. We got to be able to stand and say to the Most High, you know, I am fearfully, wonderfully made. You got to say to that situation, condition, circumstance, or situation you going through, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, make that declaration. You already made the choice to praise the Most High in Psalm 139, verse 14. The first four words say, I will praise thee. That's the direction you took the situation in. And then the next phrase of that verse say, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You are an instrument of the Most High. All right? Every good and perfect thing comes from above. Remember that about you. If nobody ever told you that, remember that about you. You are an instrument of the Most High. Now remember in the Most High's house, in a great house, there are vessels of honor and vessels of dishonor. So you got to choose which vessel you're going to be, which type of instrument you want to be. All right? I'm saying this based upon what we read last Shabbat. You know that Psalm, what was that? 134. You know, verse 1. That was telling us about where the servants of the Most High stand, and they stand in his house by night. And I asked the question, who stands in the Most High's house? Whose house are you in? You know? You got to ask yourself, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? How you going to hear this thing? Ask yourself, you know, are you really fearfully and wonderfully made? If you are, make that declaration. That's your declaration. Stand on it. You know, when the wiles of the adversary come upon you and arrows get to flying and pestilence get to lurking around your life, make that declaration, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Here's the other part of that declaration. Marvelous are thy works. All right? First in Psalm 139:14, we're going to take anything going on with us to the Most High. Psalmist said, I will praise thee. Next he said, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. You got to have this view of you, because if you don't have that view of you, who will? Who's going to think of you being fearfully and wonderfully made if you don't think about that of yourself and start projecting that? That's not being conceited. That's not being arrogant. That's not being prideful. That's not being boastful. That's just simply making a declaration about you. And if somebody around you don't like it, well, you're going to have to just, let them keep their opinions to themselves. Because your opinion about you and what the Most High thinks about you is most important. Your life don't belong to you. All right? In the back of this book over there, and what's that? The first division of Corinth, chapter 6, the last 2 verses. That lets us know we don't belong to ourselves. It said we were bought with a price. So we got to understand that the Most High has fearfully and wonderfully made us. And the psalmist said, marvelous are thy works. So if you have a low opinion, a low view of you and how you really are looked at in the Most High eyes, get rid of that. Seriously. We all have sinned, born into sin, shapen in iniquity, and in sin did our mothers conceive us, whether they were married or not. We were all born in sin. All right? But we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and marvelous is his works. So you make sure that you understand the totality of the picture and not just pick and choose and start beating yourself over the head with something. All right? It's very important that you stand strong in the midst of it all. It goes on to say in Psalm 139, verse 14, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, in that my soul knows right well. Now, your mind, meaning your brain, and all the little grease that we consumed, they ate in our flesh and made our flesh all creepy and disenchanted from our soul and our spirit. But I'm going to tell you something. The soul knows what's going on. See, we 3 parts, all right? We physical, meaning we got this flesh. We spirit, meaning that's either going to walk with the Most High or walk with the adversary. And we got a soul, all right? That's what the Most High and the adversary, the war is about, souls. So we as a people got to understand what this thing's really about. We got to get inside our hearts. When they told you in Isaiah about that, the breastplate, and he put on and had a cloak of zeal and all of this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? That thing, that breastplate, covers the chest. So you got to get in your heart and your mind, your spirit and soul, that your soul knows what the what is with this thing. You got to get in your heart, mind, spirit, and soul that you already fearfully and wonderfully made. That's inside and out, although the heart is, above all things, deceitfully and desperately wicked. All right? You got to constantly ask the Most High to cleanse and purify your heart. Because somewhere along the line, the heart is going to be a catalyst. It's going to be used as a tool. Because we read in Proverbs, from the abundance of the mouth, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So we got to understand what it is, what we doing and how we saying things. All right? We got to understand marvelous. The Most High ain't created no junk. Every good and perfect thing came from above. So don't ever let nobody tell you, no matter what type of state you're in, whether mentally and emotionally, don't never let nobody fall for that garbage others that are jealous of you, others hating on you, might push on you. Some people are just trying to pluck your buttons just to get a kick out of it, to see you have no peace. Never surrender your peace. Never surrender your joy. You start surrendering your peace, then you're going to have to do that every time something happens. So I say now, grab reins on your peace. Grab a hold of your peace and hold on to it. All right? Hold on to it, because it's very important that you do. Let's take a look at the next part of Psalm 139, that we're going to pick on. We already picked on from verses 8 to 12 from this morning, verse 14 from this morning. Now we're going to take a look at verses 21 and 22. All right? It's very important we understand this. The psalmist in Psalm 139, verse 21 and 22 said, "Do not I hate them, O Yah, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies." Because you gotta love. Some people like to water down your love for and changing it. Oh, you got a zeal. Nah, you gotta love. Because you got a love for the Most High. You love His commandments. You love Him. You love His way. You love every way of righteousness. You love the path of righteousness for His name's sake. All right? This going to cause you to start hating. All right? I ain't talking about hating people for the outward appearance. All right? I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about what the psalmist is talking about here. All right? Do not I hate them, O Yah, that hate thee. Anybody that's hating the Most High is an enemy of the Most High. Light has no fellowship with darkness. And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. We as a people got to understand, all right? There's strangers in the gate of Israel that we were commanded in Torah to look out for, all right? Especially when they trying to join themselves to Israel, all right? It's very, very important that we don't get caught up in hating people for the color of the skin, all right? I mean, you could be angry all you want. Scripture say be angry but sin not, all right? So you see the Ebed of the Most High right here in Psalm 139, 21 and 22, telling you flat out what it is. Do not I hate them, O Yah, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. That's cut and dry, all right? Hate's a strong word, but that's cut and dry on the psalmist's position. What's your position, all right? What's your position? Anybody that's running down on you, hollering about, later for Yah, later for Messiah, later for the Ruach and all of this and all that. I don't want to hear that garbage and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They just don't want to hear it. They ain't necessarily hate. But when they start trying to take away your Torah, take away your Tanakh, trying to impede and impinge upon your worship time and all of that, that's when it get real physical and serious for the cause. We as a people got to understand where we going with this thing of ours, all right? We got to take time out and really look at ourselves. Because the psalmist here in verse 22 in Psalm 139 said, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. We as a people got to understand. There's one type of hate one way. There's another type of hate that's perfect. All right? So you make sure you get that perfect hatred for those who hate you. I mean, those who hate the Elohim you serve. All right? You make sure you get a perfect hatred. Kind of hatred that'll make you stand firm and stand tall, all right? In the midst of all the situations, conditions, and circumstances you might face. Let's look at the end of this in Psalm 139, 23, and 24. Very important. It says, the psalmist says, search me, O Yah, know my heart, try me, and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Some of y'all may be searching for answers. This your deliverance right here for the answers you seek, the answers you search. You searching for. The psalmist didn't blame the condition, circumstance, situations on nothing or nobody. He says, search me, O Yah, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. We got to begin to search within us. Same way we made the diligent search in our houses for the leaven and all that, and had to put the physical leaven out, the bread and the crackers and everything that had leaven in it, yeast. Well, we got to ask the Most High to search us, and we got to run through our heart of hearts and ask ourselves if there's anything hindering or blocking, what it is I'm trying to get. We as a people got to understand this in Psalm 139, the last two verses. We take ownership of whatever it is, especially if we feel as though our prayer ain't being answered. We still stuck in a rut. I've been praying, praising, worshiping about this, that, and the third for the longest, and now it still won't come in, and this ain't manifest, and that ain't manifest. The psalmist got straight to the point. He ain't blaming on the wife. He ain't blaming on the children. He ain't blaming on Saul. He ain't blaming on the kingdom. The psalmist said, search me, O Yah. Psalm 139, 23, 24. Search me, O Yah. Know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. The psalmist is asking the Most High, take a look at me. Show me what's in me that's not of you, so I can get that dealt with, because I need nothing to hindering my blessing line. So we as a people got to understand this thing. We got to walk by faith and not by sight. But the ponderings of a man's heart, that's what the Most High looks at. All right, the Most High they were quick to judge people over in Samuel chapter 16, verse 9. 1 Samuel, they were quick to judge people, and the Most High and Samuel was the one doing the judging when it was time to anoint David. And the Most High had to tell Samuel, y'all look at the outer appearance, I look at the heart. So if you're looking for a question or a reason why that thing you may be praying about and praying for, that spouse or that job or, being blessed to be a blessing, we as a people got to look at our hearts, because that's what the Most High look at. Jeremiah over there in 17:5 told us flat out, the heart is above all things deceitfully and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So when we looking at this that say, search me, O Yah, know my heart, try me, and know my thoughts. When you asking the Most High to try you opening up the door right now for a test of faith. You open up a door right now for asking the Most High to actually continue to bring you through something, the trying of something. You want to be tried, okay? That's when you going to literally begin to work out that salvation with fear and trembling. You got to ask the Most High to know your thoughts, all right? Because our thoughts, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And that's our thoughts coming from the heart that come out of our mouths. Most people don't understand that. You already pondered that thing in your heart. You pondered it in your mind, all right? And then you let it fly out your mouth. So the psalmist here is saying in verse 24, see if there be any wicked way in me. So if you got some leaven, and when knowing good and well you don't suppose to have no leaven there, unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, hatred for people whom you see every day. And I ain't talking about those who hate the Most High. I'm talking about just purity hate. Oh, I don't like this one because they think they this, they think they that. Now, you need to look at you, because you the one that's saying they think. You ain't in that person, hey? If you know good and well you don't have a bandwidth and the mental capacity to offer compassion, start praying for that. Because a lot of times our blessings are blocked. What we seeking from the Most High is blocked because of the things in our heart, the wicked way. So the psalmist here in verse 24 is saying, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. When you asking the Most High the search you, up there in Psalm 139, verse 23, you saying, Father, search me, O Yah, know my heart, try me, and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. I just wanted to share a word of encouragement with you all today and stay encouraged. A quick review. Let's go back to 139:14. He said, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knows right well. Just remember this. Next time you got a condition, circumstance, and situation come upon you, before you pick up the phone and start calling your peoples, call the Most High. All right, the psalmist said over in Psalm 23, you have prepared a table before me, your rod being Messiah, your staff being the Ruach shall comfort me. All right, we as a people got to take our kids to the Most High first before we start posting on Facebook what's going on, Instagram, tweeting with Twitter and all that kind of stuff. It's very important that we understand that we shall praise thee. Follow the psalmist here in 139:14. He said, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knows right well. All right? Begin to praise him when you're going through, and praise him for who he is, because he's a jealous Elohim. We spend a lot of time on social media, watching TV, doing what we want to do. Our El is a jealous Elohim. And the psalmist here didn't even had no cut card with it. He wasn't being arrogant or conceited, boastful or prideful. He said, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Remember now, scripture tells us every good and perfect thing comes from above. And then the psalmist went on to say, marvelous are thy works. Aren't you marvelous? Aren't you marvelous? Always remember you marvelous in the midst of it all. No matter what somebody outside of you got to say about you, you continue to encourage you. And because the end of 139:14 said that his soul knows right well. Our soul may know it, but our brains don't. All right? We as a people, if we get our heart, our mind, our spirit, our body and soul aligned and in tune with this Torah, oh man, we could do some things over here. All right? And remember, we can't get away from the Most High no matter what we do. We don't want to be like Jonas. All right? We don't want to be like Jonah. Here in Psalm 139, verses 8 through 12. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning, dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me, yea, the darkness hides not from thee, but the night shines as the day, and darkness and the light are both alike to thee. You can't get away from the Most High. You don't want to be like the one that had the talents. He gave 1 5, 1 2, and 1 1. The one dude that had the one took his and buried it. All right? You stay encouraged, Israel, no matter what. And continue to anoint that armor. I don't care if you're reading about the armor in the back of the book or in Isaiah. You ask the Most High daily to anoint your armor and be your peace. Give you a crown of wisdom. Shalom, be blessed. Have a great one.